I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. Now we have completed the Book of Ether, coming back to the Book of Moroni, and this will pick up just after Moroni has completed his abridgment of the Book of Ether. So he begins that abridgment sometime after the year 400, and sometime after he finishes it, we get the Book of Moroni. So now we're going to read Moroni, chapter 1. Now I, Moroni, after having made an end of abridging the account of the people of Jared, I had supposed not to have written more, but I have not as yet perished. And I make not myself known to the Lamanites, lest they should destroy me. For behold, their wars are exceedingly fierce among themselves, and because of their hatred they put to death every Nephite that will not deny the Christ. And I, Moroni, will not deny the Christ. Wherefore I wander whithersoever I can for the safety of mine own life. Wherefore I write a few more things, contrary to that which I had supposed, for I had supposed not to have written any more. But I write a few more things, that perhaps they may be of worth unto my brethren the Lamanites in some future day, according to the will of the Lord. Another nice, short, sweet chapter from Moroni. And he tells us here, he thought that he was going to be dead by now. He finished the record of the Nephites, he abridged the record of Ether, and he figured that's all he had time for, that God was going to let him die now. But he finds he's still alive, so he's going to keep writing. But note, what I consider to be the most important statement in this chapter is where he says that the Lamanites put to death any Nephite who will not deny the Christ, and I will not deny the Christ. But consider that. There must be other Nephites still alive at this time who will not deny the Christ. Otherwise, if he was the only one left, why mention this particular policy of the Lamanites? Why not just say that the Lamanites are trying to kill him? He already said that. Why mention that they are killing all Nephites who will not deny the Christ, unless there were other Nephites still alive at this time that would not deny the Christ? I think that the big battle at Cumorah was the end of the Nephite nation. They ended as a national identity, and all the wicked were destroyed, but there were a few who were righteous, who were not killed, and they have continued to live in small pockets, hiding out from the Lamanites. Now, eventually they are all destroyed or they all die off, but they are there, and they are the few that were still righteous in those last days in those last wars. You had the few that were righteous, and they're out in hiding, and Moroni's probably made contact with them now and then. And the Lamanites are still hunting down the Nephites. Now remember, this is a little after the year 400. I mean, it's probably several years. It's probably like 10 years after the year 400. So in, say, 410, now the Battle of Cumorah was in the year 384. So we're talking 25 years that Moroni has been wandering. At least, I would say 20 years since Mormon died. Moroni has been on his own. Now that doesn't mean he's been by himself, because there are other Nephites out there. He probably has made contact. Maybe he stays a week or so with them before moving on. Of course, if he stays with anybody, he's putting them at risk, because the Lamanites are really seeking for Moroni. He indicates, without saying it directly, that he is kind of an especial target of the Lamanites, and I wouldn't doubt that is true. He is the last survivor of the Nephite military organization. He's the last commander, and he's the last prophet. So he is a special target, and he carries the records which we've already read. The Lamanites seek to destroy him. So he may make contact with other Nephites, but he wouldn't stay with them for any real length of time, a week or so at the most, before moving on, in order that they would not be put at any greater risk. Now, I'm going to leave this chapter here. There's not a whole lot else to say about this. The next several chapters of Moroni we've already read, chapters 2 through 5. And these are how they baptized, how they ordained elders, the sacrament prayers. He details all of this next, but then we get some of his own personal writings in chapter 6, which is what we will read next. So I will see you there.